Metal Gen?
Metal Gen!
Brace yourselves.
For Chapter 2 of
Beating the Heat.
By Andrew Joshua Talon.
Also known as Friendship is Kinky.
And, because this is still here, disclaimer.
I
regret nothing! I lived as human dare to dream! Moving right along from where we left off last time.
Moving right along. High above Ponyville, lying on a cloud, as was her wont, Rainbow Dash snored softly in a deep sleep. Gently snoozing, there was no sign of any turmoil in her peaceful visage. Quite the contrary, she seemed to be having an excellent dream. She twisted and turned and rolled onto her stomach, and pushing her hips up high.
You know, sleeping on a a cloud bed might seem like a good idea, but if you twist and turn a lot, what happens if you fall off?
Is a Pegasus.
Yeah, but she can't fly in her sleep. Or can she? Anyway, yeah.
On another cloud, the appropriately named Dumbbell, the confusingly named Score, and the equally appropriate named Whooves were watching her with some interest. Former bullies of Rainbow Dash in flight school, up to the young flyers competition, they had become something even worse. Admirers.
Hey dude, what's up with her?
Whooves asked his companion.
Not a clue,
Dumbbell said.
but it's nice to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, what do you call it? Allaying.
I think it's alternating.
Dumbbell stated.
Ah, right.
Score, as was his wont, merely laughed. Whooves and Dumbbell paid no mind. Their big friend was just kind of like that. Their boorish musings were cut off by Rainbow Dash crying out as she wriggled and wriggled all over the cloud.
Yes, yeah, Item Brony! Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. Anyway.
She cried out in bliss. 3 male Pegasus.
It's Pegasi.
Well, this was grandfather. The 3 male Pegasi looked at each other curiously before dropping off their cloud to fly up to her.
Hey, Rainbow Dash! Rainbow Dash!
Whooves called.
You alright?
Dumbbell asked. Rainbow Dash groaned and slowly opened her eyes. She looked over the 3 Pegasi, licked her lips, and gave them a come-hither look that brought a blush to the face of all 3 stallions. After a moment's realization, however, her eyes widened and she covered her nose.
Oh no! Not even for the Wonderbolts!
She cried.
What's wrong?
Wait, yeah, that's it.
What's wrong?
Dumbbell asked.
No, nothing. I'm infected with the T-virus!
She cried.
Da-da-da.
Dumbbell added. At the curious looks he received from his companions, he shrugged.
Is it serious? Can we help you out?
Whooves asked Rainbow Dash.
No! Ew! Are you kidding? No! Not for all the... no, I'm fine.
Rainbow Dash said quickly and nervously.
Is there anything we can get to help you?
Dumbbell asked, in genuine concern. Rainbow Dash's eyes became glazed. She hummed in such a way that Whooves very nearly crashed due to how stiff his wings became.
Find me some royal guards. Oh, or maybe Soren of the Wonderbolts. Maybe Soren and Spitfire together.
She trailed off abruptly at the stairs, shook her head free of the distracting thoughts, and coughed violently.
No! I'm fine. I just need to...
What?
Dumbbell asked, moving forward just enough to get in scenting distance. Rainbow Dash saw this, and her eyes widened almost comically in terror.
No!
She shrieked, practically knocking the dark brown Pegasus out of the air. She zipped off, a rainbow-colored blur that was screaming right for her home. The 3 Pegasi looked at each other again.
Damn, that mare is crazy.
Score opined.
I guess she's just having a really rotten day.
Whooves assessed.
Hey, why don't we see if we can cheer her up?
How? Bring her the Royal Guards and the Wonderbolts?
Dumbbell asked sarcastically.
Yes!
Oh,
Dumbbell said. He nodded.
I thought it'd be something stupid and impossible.
Rainbow Dash's cloud sanctum was rapidly transformed from a peaceful, picturesque castle into a fortress of doom.
Doom!
Doom, 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 doom. Dark storm clouds were positioned at every entrance and window. Spikes made of ice jutted out menacingly, and the rainbow waterfall that was redirected into a moat. Though what good would that do against the ponies that could fly was debatable. Rainbow Dash.
Wait, she lives in a cloud home, so the only ponies who can reach her house are ones that can fly. Didn't think this through, did you, Rainbow Dash?
Didn't say she was smart. Rainbow Dash, satisfied her home was invasion-proof, undertook the most important part of the whole project. She started a cold shower from a rain cloud and got under it. She was shivering and not entirely out of cold.
Ew! Foals with those guys?
She shuddered.
Gross!
Now making foals with one of those hunky royal guards, the strong, silent type, or maybe Soren. That was the ticket. And Spitfire. Well, they couldn't make foals, but that could still improve things.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Rainbow Dash cried, covering her ears as though to ward off her own thoughts. She groaned.
Stupid hormones!
Meanwhile,
back at the library.
bloody hell, if I knew it'd take this long just to find some appropriate books, I'd have gone back to get the original copies. Doctor grumbled as he read through an ancient-looking volume entitled The Elements of Harmony, Myths and Legends. Nearby, Twilight Spike was bound and gagged. Spike sitting on top of her, with an exhausted look on his face.
Jeez, go back where?
Spike asked flatly. Back to the library, of course, Doctor said quickly. Spike glared at him in the chestnut pony cough. Right, okay. I think I have what we need. He tapped the book. This passage indicates that the elements of harmony are tapped into the most original primordial forces of life, while being framed by the virtues that define good.
Magic is the door, and virtues are the key.
Spike asked. Well, sort of. In that it's not actually anything like unless you have a key that's a door and a door that's a key. Let's just go with that, the doctor said, seeing smoke was beginning to curl away from the irate dragon's nostrils. Point is, magic is a force of life. And what does life want to do more than anything else?
Reproduce!
Spike said, slamming his fist into his palm.
Of course! And because Twilight is the holder of the element of magic...
Her heat is amplified by her virtue. There's irony for you, Doctor said, with raised eyebrows.
Wait, what does this mean about the others?
Spike asked. The others? Oh, right, the others, Doctor said, the chestnut-colored pony's eyes widened, held his hose to himself. The others! The others! You mean the others? Who are some of the most mentally unstable ponies around? He shouted. Spike sat for a while with his eyes as big as the doctor's. His reaction, though, was more succinct.
Crap! And the obligatory scene changed to Sugar Cube Corner.
Meanwhile, at the other side of the ranch...
Welcome to Sugar Cube Corner. I'm sorry, I need to do that again. Welcome to Sugar Cube Corner. I'm Pinkie Pie. How can I do you today?
You said Sugar Cube Corner.
I'm not going to correct myself.
Pinkie Pie asked cheerfully. Braeburn, in town for a convention to be held at Canterlot later that day, blinked rapidly at the strange pink pony he knew from Appaloosa, more specifically from setting up the war between the ponies and the buffalo in Appaloosa with her singing and dancing.
Pardon me, ma'am. Oh, your pardon.
Pinkie Pie said, cheerfully. She leaned over the counter on her elbows, her smile's temperature changing from flirtatious to downright sultry and way, way up to take me now, stood. How those could be defined as temperatures is beyond the author, but given the subject at hand is Pinkie Pie, said author was confident he'd be forgiven.
Well, thank you kindly.
Braeburn offered.
So, what can I get you?
Pinkie Pie asked.
Maybe a nice, gooey, delicious cream pie.
Ew. She ran her tongue over her teeth and then lightly trapped her tongue between her jaws. Braeburn tugged at his collar, feeling very hot all of a sudden.
Ah, well, that does sound mighty appetizing, miss. You can be on the house given how naughty I was during the whole Appaloosa incident.
Pinkie said, pressing her body over the counter. It was impossible for Braeburn not to notice that the pink pony's hindquarters was raised, as though in invitation. Braeburn shook his head furiously, clearing of any inappropriate thoughts, before he gave the pink pony a smile.
Oh, I think nothing of it, miss. Why, without the by-war, peace wouldn't have been possible. It was just, big old release on the pressure. Yes, a nice, big, hard, thrusting release.
Pinkie Pie purred.
Miss, I don't remember doing any thrusting. Ready like a trail of marshmallows! Inducing!
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the sun was around mid-morning height, and Applejack had already worked up a good, healthy sweat from morning and hard work. She grinned over at the wagon of apples she all picked up, ready to be put away in the shadow of the great apple family barn.
Ha!
She smiled cheerfully. She looked over the piles of apples and wagons, breathing hard.
Not bad for morning's work.
The orange pony exulted.
Not bad for weekend's work.
Rattled a familiar and ancient voice. Applejack looked over at Granny, who was approaching with her walker.
She doesn't need a walker, damn it. That's not important.
Semantics.
Land's sake, Applejack, you've got yourself a harvest work. What's getting in you? Well, don't rot the know.
Applejack admitted.
It's all on a feeling, like when I'll get around. Right?
Prompted Granny Smith. Applejack flushed.
Round the days I'll go jumping the lake.
She confided. Granny Smith blinked, then nodded.
I remember such days in my youth when I would work and work and work like one of them newfangled machines, my shapely flanks glistening in the sun. Granny.
TMI, TMI. Applejack tried, but Granny continued.
Just girl, I'm trying to tell you my story. Anyway, where was I?
Applejack tried, but Granny beat her to the punch.
Oh yes, my glistening flanks attracted many cotton stallion watch. Crowds of them mocked, labored, and patting over me.
Granny said proudly.
Every one of them a hard-working steed. Rival up to me, I've ridden them all long, into the night. And some of them actually... Oh, look, apples, need the Austin. I'll bust into that, Granny.
Applejack said, galloping off. Granny continued her tale, as though missing her granddaughter's departure.
Actually, where the dickens? Some couldn't walk afterwards, but neither could I, for that matter. Dear sweet merciful Christ, Granny, some things we just don't need to know.
TMI, TMI, TMI!
Oh!
Applejack sighed, wiping her brow off, as clearly as she loved her grandmother. There was many things she did not want to hear from her. Finding out Granny Smith had posed an issue of plague colt had been barely comparatively tame, all things considered. Though Applejack's pose did help her build up an immunity to such things. There was a harsh, hot throb inside her, and she shuddered.
Okay, focus on the current problem.
She groaned, leaning against a tree.
It's like, no big deal. Just gotta focus. And another stand around for a good distance, so I can keep focused.
She nodded to herself.
Focused.
Across the meadows, and now naked, Braeburn came into view, galloping.
I would say that he is always naked, but he wears a hat and a vest. So they're probably gone too.
Galloping like Nightmare Moon herself was after him. He slid to a halt in front of the bewildered Applejack and grabbed his shoulders.
Guys, you gotta help me! Huh? What for? What's wrong?
Applejack asked.
Well, that big friend of yours has gotten totally... Well, please, you gotta help me!
Braeburn cried, desperately shaking Applejack and looking deeply into her eyes. Applejack flushed a dark red, then shoved him away.
I ain't that kind of cousin!
She said angrily.
Neither am I, but she's gaining on me and... Oh, Braeburn!
Called a sultry and somewhat familiar voice. Braeburn twitched.
You ain't never seen me!
He hissed, he turned, and galloped off as fast as he could. A few moments later, Pinkie Pie came into view, skipping along as was her wont.
Oh, hey, Applejack. Where did Braeburn go?
She asked, batting her eyes. Applejack blinked and slowly pointed to the right. Pinkie Pie beamed.
Thank you.
She resumed skipping along and soon vanished. Applejack watched where she had gone for a few moments, shaking her head.
Twilight's got something for this.
She muttered.
Can't understand it at all.
She decided to see the mage unicorn to hopefully get this sorted out. But only after she'd found some nose plugs. Upon reaching Granny Smith, however...
Hey, that big word in the middle said, I reckon you ain't never seen one like this. And I said, maybe one to dress. I think I'll be fine.
Applejack mumbled, feeling very queasy.
I would have just gutted it out and gone for the nose plugs, but whatever.
Anyway, meanwhile,
back into
on the other side of the big-ass ranch...
Back at the Carousel Boutique...
Whatever. Big Macintosh was waiting patiently in the showroom part of Rarity's boutique, skimming some of the magazines provided to those who were waiting on deliveries. While not much for the intricacies of fashion himself, being a pragmatic stallion, Big Macintosh could appreciate looking his best in formal events. Indeed, he might just need a nice tux for...
I think I get this.
A curious thing was happening to the top of the door of the proprietress. The establishment had vanished behind. It was being cut through by a saw, which, due to its glow, was being guided by a unicorn's telekinesis.
Wait, I assume that was a sewing machine. I did that wrong. Let me redo that sound effect. Guided by unicorn telekinesis. Mouse Rider.
Big Macintosh called.
Ah, yes, it's me.
Rarity said.
Sorry, circumstances dictate I do this behind doors. I believe you can smell why.
Big Mac coughed.
Yup. I can, miss. But I think it's all right for you to come out now. What? Come out? In my condition?
Rarity gasped.
All taking precautions, miss.
Big Mac assured her.
I believe if we conclude all business quickly, you'll be quite safe. In all honesty, Big Macintosh, it's not my safety I'm concerned about.
Rarity said, with a wavering voice. Big Mac shook his head.
Well, it's far sight better than having saw a hole through your door, miss.
The big red stallion pointed out. There was a silence for a moment before the saw was withdrawn. The lock was undone, and the door very slowly opened.
Wait, if she could unlock the door, why was she sawing through it?
Don't ask.
Whatever.
Rarity poked her head out from behind the door cautiously, and Big Mac was reminded of his younger sister.
Well, they are about the same age.
Her eyes locked with his. She smiled in delight.
Oh, how clever!
She exclaimed.
A clothespin. Why didn't I think of that? You had other things on your mind, miss.
Big Mac said modestly.
Not to it.
Nasally.
Wait. Let me try that. Let me do that correctly. Yep, forget it, yeah.
He pointed to another clothespin with his protected nose, and Rarity snatched up with her telekinesis to place it on her snout.
Ah, there we are.
Rarity sighed through her mouth.
Yes, I believe I can control myself. Just long enough.
She turned around, and Big Mac's eyes locked into her flanks with a heat-seeking magic missile. Certainly, Big Mac had appreciated Rarity's fine form from before, but this instance was far more. Shook his head rapidly, closed his eyes, and counted 10.
Oh my, I seem to have misplaced it.
Rarity called back.
Could you be a dear and help me, Big Macintosh?
There was a lilt to her voice that thrilled the well-lowered extremities of his person, but made him cautious when his mind had a thing or two to say about it.
I'm not sure that be a good idea.
Big Mac said.
Nonsense! I believe we're both mature and responsible enough ponies too. Resist our base natures long enough to complete our business.
Rarity called back.
What was that thing the doctor said about the elements of harmony moments ago?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Big Mac shelved his worries for the moment, despite old instinct telling him this wasn't what it appeared to be.
Just get smart pants and get out. Keep him on the mission, as Sarge said.
Big Mac thought to himself. He entered the back room with his mind and scanned the area with military precision. So many feminine accoutrements and implements surrounded him, and Rarity was nowhere to be seen. He saw a staircase leading up, littered with a few scraps of fabric.
Miss Roddy.
He risked calling as he got inside the door. It didn't slam shut immediately behind him, which Big Mac took as a good sign.
Oh, drat!
Rarity called from upstairs.
Now I remember. I took her upstairs to repair her in my bedroom. I didn't want to take any chances, you understand. Would you come up here and help me? This is a lie.
It's a trap.
Wait! Admiral Akbar! It's a trap!
Thank you. Big Mac fought down a blush.
Miss, I'm not sure that'd be appropriate. Speed is of the essence, is it not?
Rarity pushed.
We're both mature ponies, capable of knowing exactly what we want.
The unusual emphasis for words added to the worry of Big Mac's mind. But he put it down. She was right, and he was confident in his ability to fight her off when it came to that.
You're risking your life for a smarty pants doll. Well,
Yes.
not life, but you know what I mean.
He ascended the steps cautiously, avoiding the fabric. Came to the upper part of her home and saw the door to what he presumed was her bedroom. Wide open. Big Mac narrowed his eyes. The army crawled. Not an easy thing to do as a stallion, if possible. Up to the door. He looked inside and spied Smarty Pants covered by a blanket in the corner of the room.
Trap!
Rarity was searching a bit frantically through some chests of materials. Just within sight, her round bottom undulating up and down as she looked. Big Mac kept his focus on Smarty Pants, and as silently as he could, trod up to the doll and picked it up. The door slammed shut behind, and he winced at the sound of the lock turning. Rarity turned around, clothes been forgotten, and a wide, devious smile on her face.
Welcome to my parlor.
She purred, advancing on him.
Saw the spot or two of the fly.
Big Mac completed. Eyes narrowed, backed away as the lust-crazed mare advanced.
Come now, Big Mac. As I emphasized before, we're both responsible, mature ponies. We both know what we want.
She got right into his personal space and pressed her muzzle against his.
Is there anything wrong with getting it? When you've made your dentist clear, miss, before laying in the strap, that is for me.
Big Mac returned calmly, even as sweat began to break on his brow.
Oh, that was just me. That was just me before. Sorry. Oh, that was just me being a bit afraid of what I was feeling.
Rarity dismissed, nuzzling his nose with a breathy sigh.
Now I'm completely certain of what I want. And what I want is you! Sorry, I just couldn't resist. With all respect, miss, this ain't exactly novel behavior for you, and I fear you'll regret things afterwards.
Big Mac calmly said, even as he began to back up towards the door.
I don't want to hurt you. Take that as you will.
Yep.
So, you're going to make this difficult?
Rarity asked, almost hurt. Big Mac narrowed his eyes and snorted as best he could through the clothespin on his nose.
I'll never give up easy enough then, Miss Rarity. Good.
Rarity purred.
Neither do I. That's one reason I'm entirely sure of what I'm doing.
She laughed as ribbons, scissors, needles, and yards of fabric and ornate ropes rose around her.
And is anything really worth it if it's an easy victory? Don't expect it is.
Big Mac returned, tensed and ready for the rumble.
Then let this be your last battlefield of love!
Rarity cried.
I knew I was about to die to get out of bed.
Big Mac thought as the battle was joined.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to Carousel Boutique. Now, let's get ready to rumble!
After this.
Meanwhile, outside the front door, outside Carousel Boutique, the Doctor, Spike, and a bound and gagged Twilight in a wagon came to an abrupt stop as the sounds of intense combat could be heard occurring from within the shop.
Oh God! Why are we missing the epic battle? Oh well, that doesn't matter. Oh my gosh!
Spike gasped, raising his clawed fingers to his cheeks.
Rarity! We gotta get in there! We gotta get in there and save!
One of the windows was smashed by a very red-colored and Big Mac-shaped object. Given the possibilities, the Doctor had to go with the theory that the mysterious projectile was in fact Big Macintosh.
think this is Spike.
Never mind.
Yeah. Big Mac, are you alright?
Nope. Big Mac groaned as he slowly got to his hooves. He was scratched, bruised, and pinned, and even had some rope burns, but had a wide, feral smile on his face.
What's going on?
Spike demanded.
Where's Rudy? Inside.
Big Mac said.
I'm holding her off as best I can. Do you need help?
Spike asked.
I'll do anything to help her. No. This is the kind of thing only I can do.
Big Mac said. Yes, just look at him. He's going right into the depths of peril to aid her, the doctor observed.
I can handle peril!
Spike protested. Big Mac laid a heavy hoof on his shoulder.
Oh, I'm afraid it's just too perilous.
Big Mac said.
Don't you worry, none. I'm keeping her from hurting any pony, but I'll need to do it alone.
I think we should listen to him, Spike, the doctor said. Besides, we need to make sure the others are safely contained first.
But...
Fabrics of every kind formed into a whip, lashed out from the window and wrapped around Big Mac. With large eyes, he fell over as he was dragged back in. Spike grabbed onto his hooves.
No! Big Mac! Hold on! Let me go in your place!
Spike wailed. Big Mac shook his head.
Nope. I'm afraid she might be too much for me.
He gave Spike a fiery look.
You gotta let me to her, and you do what you can for the others, like a real stallion would.
Spike sniffed, feeling manly tears coming to his eyes.
I will, Big Mac, for you. Thank you.
Big Mac said.
We'll come back for you when we're done. I promise.
Spike said.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Big Mac said quickly, trying to contain a grin.
This is the kind of thing you can only have one stallion for. Otherwise, it's really awkward. Huh?
Spike asked.
Go on, live for me, Spike.
Big Mac quickly called as he was yanked back into the boutique.
Live for me!
Doctor turned Spike away. Trust me, you don't want to watch. This won't be pretty. A beat.
Yeah, that's the doctor.
Well, I suppose the fabric design's rather inspiring. Oh, wow! I had no idea she had to make something like that. I guess you could learn something new every day. Spike sniffled a bit, turned away from the doctor entirely, took a deep breath before clenching his clawed fist together.
Don't worry, Big Mac. I won't let you down.
Spike said dramatically. He turned to Twilight to share that reassurance with her, but found his gallant speech would have been addressed only to an empty wagon.
Doctor! Twilight is...
He covered his eyes with his claws.
No, this is me. Let me guess. She remembered she can teleport, grabbed you, teleported you out, and I'm talking to myself.
He turned around and looked. He groaned.
I hate being right. And quick note from the author.
And this is where I go to Pony Hell. Again, the real horror is yet to come. Just you wait. End of chapter 2.
Oh, we've barely gotten into some of the juicier stuff in the story.
Juicy.
But anyway, that concludes chapter 2, and we have hoped you had a good listen, good day, and good night.
Good night, gentlemen, and may you have a pleasant dream.